Hey Shooby Doodlers, how are you doing? Well, yesterday on my Draw Stuff Real Easy channel, what do you mean you're not subscribed to that? Click up here and you'll get a direct link to subscribe. I did this little drawing of a cute little puppy. Why? Because at the moment I'm doing a Kickstarter all about drawing dogs. So I thought I would use this as a basis and think more about illustration rather than just drawing a puppy, and draw a load more puppies for you. But let's not talk about it. Let's do it. And here is that cute little puppy I did on Draw Stuff Real Easy. And then afterwards I just started noodling and doodling, thinking about, how do we do more with that puppy? And so I'm going to show you how I sort of think about this kind of thing. So when I draw animals and characters, I usually start with this circle, and I think of this as being the brain box. And if I put a little curve in there, that kind of turns it into a sphere. And that kind of makes it much more than three-dimensional. So along here, I'm going to want to put these great big kind of ears. And on there too, I'll need great big ears. And then we need to kind of push this out a little bit. So we want the nose is going to be about there. And then that will come down there. So you can see we've got this kind of 3D thing going on there, which gives us a feeling for the roundness of the head. This eye here will be kind of squashed up, and this eye here will be much more round. You could just do little dots. Here I made it really, really simple and just did little dots. But here I find, in an illustration, if you want to get more character in there, then kind of circles, ping pong balls, people used to call it. And I'm going to put a little bit of a kind of a mouth in there as well. And we're going to want to have a collar. Now, to make him look more puppyish, he needs quite a small body. And so I'm going to put his paws coming down like that, or his legs coming down like that. And of course, they have enormous paws. So if you draw an oval and then kind of flatten it out at the bottom a bit, and we want the chest and another leg coming down there, and again an oval, and then kind of flatten it out a bit. And then we're going to want to have the kind of thigh come in there like that, and then the back leg is going to be kind of something like that. So, and then we're going to want a little tail wagging there. But what if we want to make that a little bit more dynamic? So here, if we think of this, the ball like that, whereas this is kind of coming sideways, if it's coming pretty much forwards, then we can just do that you can see here that's coming down like that. This will now come down much more shallowly. Is there a word, shallowly? So then the nose will be there, and we might get a little bit of a grin there or something, but then the eyes will be much the same shape. And then the ears will be kind of equidistant, as it were, like that. But let's make this a bit more playful. So let's bring an arm out like that, and we've got the great big paw there like that. And so it'll be something like that, and then we can do a great big paw there as well, and then maybe we could have the tail completely up in the air. And so that then, are we going to see any of this back leg? I don't know, probably not. A little bit. We can have a little bit of paw there, and maybe we can see a bit of the back leg there. So that makes that much more interesting. And let's put one over on this side as well. And we're going to kind of do the opposite here. So that's going to sort of come around and forwards and down like that. So we're going to have the nose there, and then the bigger eye will be here, and then the squashed up eye will be there. Let's have the eye looking somewhere different this time. And in fact, let's go and kind of let's have a little fly or something up there. So this is kind of starting to build a reaction. In fact, let's change the eyeballs to like that, so that this one's looking at that one. And we want a bit more of let's do a kind of a little worried kind of face there. We want to collar there as well. And I'm just going to have him trying to bat. I'm going to have him trying to bat that fly up there, which means then that this arm is going to be kind of something like that as he's balanced. And he's going to have to do some weird kind of balancing going on here. And I think this sort of comes down to kind of having drawn lots of dogs, and which I feel I haven't done enough drawing of dogs at the moment, which is so this is partly why I'm doing all this. So this is a whole kind of illustration thing that I'm doing, because I got my new book, Walker, The Boy Who Can Talk to Dogs, is coming out on the 14th of March. Look, click up here and you can pre-order a copy. And I know I'm going to be doing a bit of promotion around the country, and particularly I'm going up to Scotland to do, I think, at the Big Dog Festival in Dumfries. And I'm going to be doing a whole morning drawing dogs with people, showing people how to draw dogs. So I thought I need a bit of practice. So that's partly what this is about. I'm just going to move this up a little bit. And look, while I go off to find my pen, click down here and make sure you are subscribed to Shoo Rayner Drawing, and keep coming back for lots more drawings and videos all the time. And I found my pen and it's empty, so I need a new one. And luckily I buy them in boxes of 12. So I've always got one on hand. So let's draw this one here. And I think when I drew this on Draw Stuff Real Easy, I was quite sort of taking my time over it, and I'm being much more kind of in my style now. And I think I'm going to be doing this much more on this channel rather than just showing you how to draw. It's because I find when I'm drawing on here, it's kind of not been my style, because I'm showing you how to draw, and now I'm talking about illustration. I'm going to draw in my own style and feel a lot more comfortable doing that. So I'm going to come down here, 1, 2, and then that will come here. And actually, I think I can draw that all the way around and flick back up again on that, and not have to do the whole thing like that. And I want a little bit of roundness there, I think, and that's going to start looking really rude with this one over here. That's quite unintentional, and I think this is a thing that when you are illustrating, you will kind of make little mistakes like that. Think, oops. And I'm not going to change it now because it's quite funny. But obviously this is going to be in a children's book. You wouldn't want that tail in that position if you were drawing this here. I'm not saying any more. Right, so and then sort of flick that around there, and then this is going to be much more sort of rounded in a way. So yeah, I think if I was doing this in an illustration, I would rework that. So I think it was something somebody said recently. I can't remember. They emailed me or they said it in something. I can't remember how, or I saw it on a website, how art and drawing is so good because it teaches you to fail. And that's what we don't teach anymore. And we need to kind of learn to fail at things. And I think in art and drawing you can fail so often, but you learn so much from your failures. And I think it's the people who don't get upset, who go, that wasn't right, how do I get it right next time, and then go on and draw it again. Those are the people who kind of learn how to be successful, because you never get it right never get anything right first time, and you need to kind of play with things and make mistakes and iterate and pivot and all those kind of things. Pivot's a very kind of favoured term in business these days. So where are we now? So these kind of come down, and then I want him to come kind of around like that. I'm going to put the nose. So I'm kind of thinking all the time, what's the nearest thing to me, and drawing that bit first. So I think we might need to see a bit of his tongue in there, probably. like that, and so he's looking up at that fly. So we've got a much smaller eye because it's kind of round the corner a bit there. And we're going to have collar and dog tag. This shoulder is a bit too high, so I'm going to bring it up from there to there. Something like that, and then we're going to have a bit of, probably a little bit of tumminess there, aren't we? I think so. That's going to come more down that way, and 1, 2, 3, sort of like that. And I think we're going to need to have that. I'm not sure about this, so you know, because I'm just doing this quickly. It's a first draft, just to see what it's going to look like. So we have some eyebrows. So when you are sure that the ink is dry, then you can erase those pencil lines. So I got my little paint box and a tissue and a Pentel Aquash brush, and I'm going to get just the weakest kind of, oh, that's much stronger than I thought. Okay, so I'm going to get a little bit of paleness. That's going to be a kind of a predominantly white, this puppy, because then that makes it quicker and easier to draw and paint. That's a bit too much, so I'm adding so I dab off the colour and sort of splash in a bit more water just to kind of thin it down a bit. We're going to want to have that a bit darker in there. I'm losing the purpliness. I like that purpliness there that I had. So we want a bit of sort of shade. So I'm just really thinking about where the shade's going to be, which side. And I'm just going to put a little bit of blue. Yes, I'm going over the lines. I'm sorry. That's kind of what I do. And I think if you worry about going over the lines, well, you know, some people, you know, can get a little obsessive about that. I know some people have commented on my video saying, oh, I'm a bit OCD, I get a bit worried when you go over the lines, but I'm afraid that's kind of my style. I'm going to add a bit of pink into the paws like that, a bit in there. I think we might have a little bit of pink around the muzzle as well. I think maybe. Oh, that's too much. So I'm cleaning the brush and kind of trying to wash that out and move it about. I think we want a little bit of pink inside the ears, like that. Like that. Blue collar, I think. Why not? There we go. And there's the dog tag as well. And the dog tag's going to need a bit of shadow underneath it. I think we can probably stick in some extra kind of darkish. Oh, that's probably gone too much now, so I'll try and dab that off. There used to be a cleaning stuff called Dab It Off. It used to be like your dry cleaners in a pocket or something like that. So I'm going to get some yellow ochre and give him sort of yellowy kind of ears like that. So if I do the same on each one, then I'll know I'm kind of pretty much getting it right. And then maybe some sort of, maybe along the back as well, and the tail. So we'll have a bit here, coming around there, down there. So, oh, maybe, no, that's gone down the leg a bit there, so I need to do that. Maybe one on the front leg there. So we're going to get that about there, aren't we? So it's kind of repeating, and I think when you're doing characters, you kind of get to know them, and that's one of the, you do have to get to know them, and you have to know, oh yeah, they always have that spot in that particular place. They are that particular colour, and I do that colour every time. Oh, I'm going to have a bit there as well. Why not? Because I got that there. Yes, that makes sense. So yeah, you do have to kind of remember those kind of things. Although you will quite often find in a book series, from one book to another, particularly if it starts off at one book that then becomes a series and wasn't intended to become a series, you quite often find the illustrations, the characters, they do change because the illustrator's style changes over time. So that will happen, and I've found actually that once a book comes out and I really sort of look at it, dispassionately, because I'm not deeply involved, in the creation of it. It's done, it's finished. When I look at it then dispassionately, I think, oh my goodness, my whole style changed halfway through the book. That can be a bit weird. But then some people, yes, I think that, I probably notice the style change much more than other people will, I suppose, because I'm kind of aware of all the intricacies of it. So I'm just going to add a little bit of, this is raw sienna, I think. Raw sienna or burnt sienna, I can't remember. So I'm just going to make this, just adding a little bit, sort of, I think it just adds a bit more warmth to it, I think, and dogginess, a bit more down the back. And there we go. So if you've got any questions about illustration stuff like that, then do put them in the question box below. And you might like to come and join me on Patreon, actually, because I am now taking Patreon quite seriously, and it's not just a kind of a tip jar, and there are exclusive videos on I'm going to be doing on Patreon about illustration and publishing, and I'm going to be kind of teaching you how to publish your own book, really. So here you are. So click up here and you'll find there's a link to my Patreon page. Come and join me, see what it's all about. Come and join us, I should say, because it's I want to kind of make it a kind of a community of people who are making their own picture books, really. So and sort of illustrating and things like that. And also click up here to go and have a look at my Kickstarter, what that's all about. 100 dogs. I think all I'm going to do now is add a little bit of ping ping kind of movement stuff. There you go. How to draw puppies, going from a very simple thing like this to something much more animated. It's kind of all in the head, I think, isn't it? And it's in that kind of three-dimensional, kind of getting the feel of it. Thanks for watching, and as I say, make sure you're subscribed and keep coming back to the Shoo Rayner Drawing channel on YouTube. And in the meantime, keep drawing, practice, and I'll see you next time. You take care now. Bye bye.